morning, guys. All right, so today we are starting a brand new topic, which is topic 10, and we are going to be trying to add tens to different numbers. Now, that's what we kind of practiced and talked about, 10 more and 10 less. This is going to help us with that 10 more. Remember, we looked at finding 10 more on a hundreds chart. Well, we're going to be working and actually solving problems, and sometimes we're going to be using models. So remember, when we say that we're using a model, all we're doing is making a picture or building a picture to help us, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start with our solve and share. So if I'm looking at these problems, it says, how are these problems alike? I have 3 plus 5 and 30 plus 50. So let's take a minute and think about it. How are they alike? That's right. They have some of the same digits or numbers in there. See, I have a 3 here and I have a 5. Well, in 30, I have a 3 and a 0, and then I have a 5 and a 0. So they're the same in the fact that they have a 3 and they have a 5, but they're very different when we talk about their quantity or how much they are. 3 is a very different number than 30, and 5 is a very different number than 50. Okay? When we say 3 and 5, we're just talking about ones. But when we say 3 and 30, we're talking about 3 tens. And in the 5 and 50 is talking about 5 tens. So if I'm wanting to add these numbers, though, if I have zeros at the end, I can add them almost the same way, okay? If I know 3 plus 5, and I can use my fingers even for 3 plus 5, or I can count up and say, okay, I have 3, I'm going to add 5 to it. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 plus 5 is 8. If I know that fact, it's going to help me with this fact. Because I can look at just the tens and say, okay, 3 plus 5 is 8. I know that. So I can put an 8, but it's going to be 8 tens. So since 3 plus 5 is 8, 30 plus 50 has to be 80, because 3 tens plus 5 tens equals 8 tens, and 8 tens is 80, okay? So we are going to be practicing that. Now I can check my work and say, okay, I had 1, 2, 3 ones, and then I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones, and I know that equals 8. But then I can also make a picture and do the 10 rods and say, I know that the rods stand for 10. 1, 2, 3, which stands for 30 tens, and then I add 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 tens, so 30 plus 50. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to watch a quick little video that's going to help explain this a little bit more. All right, here we go.
You know how to add ones. How can you use cubes to add 2 plus 3? Count 2 cubes, then 3 cubes, and then put them together to make 5. You can use this idea to add groups of 10. Adding 2 tens and 3 tens is like adding 2 plus 3. How many tens are there in all?
So how many would
Select
there
your
be?
answer.
If I know 2 plus 3 is 5, then I know I could count and say 2 tens plus 3 tens would be 5, 2.
There are 5 tens. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So 2 tens plus 3 tens equals 5 tens. 2 tens is 20. 3 tens is 30. How is 20 plus 30 like 2 plus 3?
What do you notice? We talked about this in our solve and share. Well, when I look at 2 plus 3, I see that that has the digit 2, and it has the digit 3, just like there's the digit 2 and 20 and the digit 3 and 30.
20 is 2 tens, and 30 is 3 tens.
So we're going to try it. So we're going to count them and drag them in. So if I have 10, 20, there's my 2 tens, 30, 40, and 50.
What is the sum of 20 plus 30?
Oh, what did we just say? 5 tens is 50.
The sum is 50. 5 tens is the same as 50. Now you know how to add tens using models.
All right, guys, we're going to try that now, okay? So if you look down at the bottom, this is the one that they've kind of helped us with. They said, okay, how many tens are here? 1, 2, 3. So we're just tracing that. And how many tens are on the other side? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 tens plus 4 tens would be 7 tens, because I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens in all. Then I can change it into numbers. What do I know about 3 tens? 3 tens is 10, 20, 30. So 30, and then how much is 4 tens? 40, very good. All I have to add is that 0 behind it. And 30 plus 40 equals 7 tens, which would be 70, very good. All right, over on this problem, how many tens do I have first? Just 1. How many tens do I have on the other side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 1 10 and 5 tens. So how many tens would I have in all? 5 plus 1 is 6. I would have 6 tens in all. So now I'm going to turn it into problems. How much is 1 10? It's just how many? 10. Very good. How much is 5 tens? 5 tens would be my 5 and the tens, and then how many ones? 0. 5 tens would be the number 50. So what would 10 plus 50 be? If 1 plus 5 is 6, 10 plus 50 must be 60. That's right, because I would have 6 tens and 0 ones, 60. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next problem. Okay. So they're wanting to write the numbers to complete them now. Okay, so we're kind of taking out that middle step. How many tens are right here? 2. What do I know about 2 tens? It's how many? It would be 10, 20. So I have 20 here. How many do I have in my next group? It's the same, so it's another 2 tens or 20. So 20 plus 20 is like saying 2 plus 2. Well, what's 2 plus 2? 2 plus 2 is 4. But I need to make sure I put that 0 at the end because it's tens. 20 plus 20 equals 40. All right, and our next one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens. Now I can count them by tens too. I can say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So my first group is 50. How many's in my second group? Let's see if you're right. 10, 20, 30. 3 tens are 30. And then I can put them all together. Well, there's 2 different ways I can do it. I can count all of them by tens, or I can say, what's 5 plus 3? 5 plus 3 is 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I need to make sure I put my 0 in the ones because it's 8 tens for 80s. Or I can count and say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and put them together. All right. So here I have 3 tens. How much is 3 tens? 10, 20, 30. And then this is easy. How many tens do I have over here? 1. And so it would just be 10. So 30 plus 10, so 3 tens and 1 more would be 3 plus 1 is 4. and then I have to make sure I put that 0 because it's tens. 30 plus 10 would be 40, or I could count and say 10, 20, 30, 40. Oh, this one's easy. How many tens? 1. So I have 10 here. How many do I have here? 10. What's 10 plus 10? You guys already know this fact. It's 20. It's 2 tens or 20. All right, how many do I have over here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tens is the number 40 because I put a 4 in the tens and I have 0 left over, 0 ones. And then over here I have 4 tens again, so it'd be the same number, so 40. Well, this is one of those double facts that you guys know really well. What's 4 plus 4? 8, but it's 8 tens. How much is 8 tens? Just an 8 in the tens column and a 0 in the ones column, so it'd be 80. And I can check my work by counting. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. All right, how many tens over here? 2, and 2 tens is how much? 2 tens and 0 ones is 20, or you could just count and say 10, 20. How many tens over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tens would be 50. Very good, because a 5 in the tens column and 0 ones left over. So I have 2 tens plus 5 tens. So what's 2 plus 5? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 plus 5 is 7, but it's 7 tens, so I need 7 and a 0 for the number 70. And I can count them and say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. All right, over here, how many tens do I have first? I have 3 tens, which would be the number 30, 10, 20, 30. So I have 30 over here. And then how many tens do I have next? 1, 2, 3, and 30 over here. So 3 plus 3 is 6. So 30 plus 30 has to be 60. 3 plus 3 is 6. 30 plus 30 is 60. Okay, how many tens right here? That's easy. 1. I know 1 10 is just 10. How many tens do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many was 4 tens? Do you remember? A 4 in the 10 spot and then 0 left over. So what number? 40. Very good. Or I could count and say 10, 20, 30, 40. So I have 1 10 plus 4 tens. Well, what's 1 plus 4? 5, but it's 5 tens, so it's the number 50. Very good. Let's count it to check. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All right, on number 11, how many tens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 tens. How much is 5 tens? Well, I've got a 5 in the tens column. I've got 0, 1. So what number is that? 50. Very good. And I can count to check. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. How many tens in the second column? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 10, 20, 30, 40. 4 tens is 40 because it's a 4 in the tens and a 0 in the ones. 50 plus 40. So 5 plus 4, what's that? 9. Very good. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 9 tens and 0 ones is 90. So we can always go back and count and check our work. All right, we're going to try some of the tricky problems today. Are you ready? Because we want to practice these word problems. Alex and Annie each have 5 boxes of crayons. Each box has 10 crayons. How many do they have in all? So remember, those in all words are important because they tell us that we're going to add and put something together. So if I have 5 sets of 10, because I have 10 in each, how many would that be? 5 sets of 10. 5 tens would be 50. That's right, because I would have, let's count by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So each person, Alex and Annie, both have 50. Well, this is like a problem I know really well. 50 plus 50 would be 5 tens plus 5 tens. What's 5 plus 5? 10. So what's 10 tens? If I have 10 tens, I have 10, and then I add a 0 for the tens. What number is that? 100. 50 plus 50 is 100. Very good. It says Becky and Dan buy some bottles of juice. Becky buys 6 bottles and Dan buys 2 bottles. Each juice is enough for 10 people. How many people do Dan and Becky have enough juice for? So let's think about that. If I have 6 bottles of the first one and it can be for 10 people, what is 6 tens? If I have 6 tens, let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 6 in the tens column and 0 ones. So Becky has enough for 60 people. Dan only has 2 bottles, so 2 tens. So 10, 20. So 2 tens, 2 in the tens column and a 0. So what's 6 plus 2? 6, 7, 8. So if 6 plus 2 is 8, and I'm doing 8 tens, what do I need to add in the ones? I need to add that 0, that's right. 60 plus 20 equals 80. So they can do it for 80 people. We're going to cross off number 14, and then here's our little tester assessment. Okay, which equation matches the picture? I have 2 tens over here and 3 tens. Is 2 plus 3, does that match? No, these are 10, so that cannot be it. 3 plus 2, can that match? No, that's not just 5. 20 plus 3, is this 23 together? I don't even have any ones, so it can't be that one. How about 20 plus 30? I have 2 tens, which is 20, and I have 3 tens, which is 30, which would be equal to 50. Good job. So it's going to be D. All right, I'm going to really quickly show you what you're going to do for your homework. All right, on your homework, you have these 2 problems down here, which are just like the ones you did on your in our lesson. You talk about how many tens, and then turn it into a problem. Okay, then on this side, all you have to do on this side is I want you to do the assessment. Okay, you do not have to do number 3, 4, and 5. So you only have 3 problems in all for your homework. Okay, all right, you guys did an awesome job. Thank you.